So you can provide intelligence support agents, complaint resolution automation. If there's a pattern for how you resolve certain issues, you can build it into an agentic AI workflows, and it can do that for you, and also analyze the sort of the KPIs and give you some some reporting and stuff like that. So there are use cases all around. If you, for instance, I'm talking to professionals here, and those who are probably maybe working in a typical 9 to 5 setting. So how can one adopt AI, agentic AI in a workplace, for instance? What's the strategy? So for me, I would say there's a phase one, there's a phase two. All right. So phase one is more of access and identity. So what exactly? So you can do what we call a gap analysis or an audit, okay, of your processes. So do an audit. What are the things that you currently do today that takes a lot of time? Ask your team, what are the things that you do today that are quite repetitive and very boring? We can start with that. Okay. What are the workload that you consider as high volume? Okay. So could it be that there are multiple systems, multiple tools that you guys are using? Have you done like an audit of the existing systems? Have you been able to map data sources to their integration points? Just within that sort of organization. What's the AI governance going to look like? What are the ethical sort of policies that you want to put in place? Because it's not just about using the tool, it's also about creating guardrails and guidelines for people, or else they're going to bastardize the whole idea. So assessments and identification of systems, data points, data sources, and integration points is very, very important. Okay. And eventually, of course, you drive efficiency. We can reduce manual errors, cost savings if eventually is implemented. Phase two is more of the pilot. So we have what we call the pilot, or what we call proof of concept. Okay. So you might want to start small, deploy some agents, prioritize, make sure you define your use cases, ensure that you have your sort of what we call knowledge sharing sessions within the organization. Culture, digital culture is very important. Some people might be new to it and they're scared. So they might feel, not too confident or comfortable with it. So that sort of orientation needs to happen within the organization, so that to prepare people about what we're trying to achieve, right? And then start small, and then start to get feedback, progress iteratively, and stuff like that. And then make sure you define your KPI so that you know how success looks like eventually. All right. And when you're solid, everything is fine. If you feel like, yeah, we now have a solution, they can start to roll it out strategically, maybe in batches to different departments. It can be integrated with different existing systems here, ERP, CRM, and all sort of things. And then we can start to really get the benefit of the ROI, returns on investments, and stay competitive ahead of other organizations. So when it comes to academic institutions, and let's say for students, for instance, so if I'm speaking to, let's say for instance, we have professors or lecturers who are here, who are listening to me, how can agentic AI support what you're doing? Research. It can become a research assistant for your faculty, for instance. It can, you can use it to sort of study your process in terms of the things that your manual activities that you think they're repetitive. Agentic AI can play a role there. We have things like your grading processes. These things are repetitive activities. It can learn based on whatever framework or these set goals that you define for it. Intelligent tutoring is there, adaptive learning is there. There's something we call personalized coaching today. So if I know that this is the department I'm currently teaching or lecturing, and I have an idea of what, from the curriculum, right? I know what these students are going to become after, let's say, 4 years. Okay. Why can't I have agentic AI solutions that can start to prepare some adaptive learning resources to prepare them for where they want to be, or what sort of career pathway they want to go? So agentic AI can start to prepare that, and then eventually people can start to benefit from it. So we have, from the admin point of view, it can also be useful for those who are in the administrative angle, for those who are into research, and stuff like that. For those who are creating guidelines, academic, policies and stuff, it can be beneficial in that area. If you're a student here, you're listening to me, We can start with your, things to assist you in the way you do your studies. It can do some personalized revision or coaching for you. So, for instance, I for I would say, depending on who you are, some people are very how will I put it now? They are very clear with their vision. They know where they want to be in the next 5 years. If you're somebody like that, you can use Agentic AI to start to prepare some strategic, learning resources based on where you want to be, and it can start to build those sort of, pathway, the things that you need to know, knowledge, and all of that. It can be useful in that area. Okay. Research and citation assistance, very clear. Coding and project support with explanation, essay structuring, argument development, career guidance. These are just example of use cases that applies to those who are students. We have things like the ethical part of it as well, for those who want to go into maybe AI governance or AI compliance and all of that. We have what we call responsible AI. I'm not sure if I added it to this resource, but we have what we call AI governance and responsible AI. This is AI governance is more of the framework that governs how AI is meant to be used, and then the responsible AI is more of the lifestyle and more of the ethical guidance when it comes to you, who are you yourself using the AI. The fact that AI can do the task does not mean that AI must do it. Okay, if you think that can breach data privacy or data confidentiality, you don't have to. So students can be given some thesis, final year projects that they can, that agentic AI can actually, be relevant and to apply to that. I'm not sure. I don't want to spend too much time on this. This is for business, for those who are into business. For instance, it could be SMEs, it could be enterprise scale. If you're running